Hello and welcome. My name is Kyle FtW and welcome to another Call of Duty Modern Warfare video. Today, we are back with another map guide video, and in this video, we are covering the brand new DLC map called Petrov Oil Rig, which is of course added within the launch of Season 5. As you can see here, here is the mini map on the screen right now, and this is it's a 3-lane looking map, but it definitely does not play like a 3-lane map. It's very, very all over the place. And this is going to be a very, very, very long map guide video. There's a ton of stuff to cover here, and let's go ahead and get into it. So, as you can see here, this is the Coalition spawn, and then the Allegiance people spawn over here. But as you can see, there's a ton of stuff to cover, and this is probably going to be a pretty long map guide video. So, starting off here, we're going to head over to the left side of the map and cover this first, just because it is, as I said, this map is very, very, very crazy, and yeah. So the middle will be most of the video, but starting over here on this part of the map, we have this little area over here, which is a good place to kind of aim down sights and sort of take out enemies. You can also, I think you can also mount on here, but there's really no point because you really can't see anybody. But you can come up here if you want to, as well. And just for another little thing as well, you can also come up here and aim down sights and take out enemies that are coming from this way, around that way like that. You can also run through this door, as well as this door, and come over here and then take out some enemies here. Be careful though, because enemies love to head glitch on here, on this little metal thing, especially because if they're looking at you from right over here, it's very, very common for people to be head glitching here. Also, beware of people coming from through these doorways like this, to be able to shoot you in the back, as well as if you're running through this route, just keep an eye out on enemies over here, because there's a chance that they could be coming from there, and there's a chance that they could be coming from there as well. So just be very, very careful and be very aware of what's going on. Now, as we continue over this way, we can see, of course, a couple more things. This is a very common route as well for people to go around. You can either run up here, or you can run through here, open these doors, and kind of get a line of sight over here. But be very, very careful, because putting yourself here can get you shot from 1, 2, 3, and 4 different angles. So you have to be really, really careful through here. There's also a lot of here where enemies can come up and then they can take you out. But be careful right here. This is definitely where I recommend an assault rifle or a LMG or maybe even a sniper rifle. This is a very, very, very long line of sight. And if you aren't prepared and you aren't careful, you're just going to get destroyed, and it will be a very, very bad time. So now if we head down here, once again, you can also come through here if you want to and open these doors. Again, this is another side route. One thing I've noticed about this map a lot over the couple of hours that I've played on it, and about the 5 to 10 matches I've played on it, is that getting shot in the back on this map is very, very prevalent, which is why I don't really like this map that much. I will do a final rating at the end of the video, but yeah, I just don't really like this map this much. There's too many ways to get shot in the back, and I just don't like that in a map. I don't like randomness on maps. It just makes the map very, very difficult to play, very difficult to learn, which is why I love Cheshire Park so much, because that map was very, very predictable, and you didn't have to worry about getting shot in the back a ton. The map was laid out very, very well, and this map is just very randomly laid out, and I'm just not a very big fan of it, to be completely honest. So now, once we head over this way, you can go this way as well. Take out some enemies up here, but if you are an enemy over here, be aware that people can shoot through that window right there, so be very, very careful about that. I know that I've been killed by enemies just hanging out over there, which is not the best thing in the world. So again, just be careful from both sides. Be aware that there will be enemies either right here, or there will be enemies on those windows, as well as over there. So the back part of the map here really isn't that important. Not a lot happens here. There is a headquarters, and I believe a hard point right back here as well, kind of right here. So just be careful if you're playing those modes, but for the most part, this is not where you will be hanging out very much at all. So now we'll go ahead and talk about the left side of the map right now, or I guess the right side technically, but the left to me right now. So you can of course go through these doors as well, go through these doors and get to this side of the map. This is basically, the only reason that this is here is simply enough just so that you can get over to this part of the map over here. That's pretty much it. That's the only reason that this is here, or if you want to go down here and come through this way, you can as well, using those stairs, but I'm not sure why you would do that. But again, there's just a lot of routes that just don't make a lot of sense to me in this map, if I'm being completely honest. Like, you know, just some obscure places where you don't find a lot of enemies, but nonetheless, I digress. But this right here can take you into the middle of the map, as well, take you over to where that HQ would be. But you can also come through here and get to this side of the map as well. As I said, there's a lot to cover here on this map. But as I said, this area will take you to this building right here, which is an accessible building if I go through here like this. And basically, you can get an overview on a hard point on an objective here. B is definitely not over here, but there is a headquarters here. But be careful about enemies head glitching over there on that. But then vice versa. I'll show you the opposite in a minute. But again, be careful because there can be enemies over there as well. But you can't really see any enemies. But I mean, if you come over here and you crouch, whoops, wrong button. And you crouch, you can come over here and not get a look at anybody. But be careful, because now that you're here, you can see a lot of enemies over there as well. So again, there's a lot of routes, but be aware of people sitting in this corner as well. And last but not least, you can also get into this building by going up these stairs like this. So again, you can come through here and take enemies out. And that's pretty much it for that building. Now, if you go through this way, this can basically get you over to the other side of the map a little bit more stealthy, because of course, if enemies are running through here, they probably won't see you unless of course they're up in that head glitch or they just kind of spot you. But again, be careful running through here, because again, enemies can still see you. You can mount on here if you want to as well. There you go, you can mount on all of these objects. But again, just be very, very careful and be aware of enemies being in this area, because they can definitely take you out very, very easily. Now, if we go into here once again, this is basically the other building on this side of the map. So of course, you can go ahead and take people out on that head glitch over there. And of course, you can basically get from this area, you can get to the other side of the map over there. So again, there's just a ton. It's like this map has like 4 maps built into one. I rarely see enemies over here unless I'm playing in objective mode where there is an objective over here. For the most part, people tend to stay into the middle over there, as well as the left, as well as the first lane that we covered in the video. But again, here you can go through here as well. Take out enemies over here from down below. Be careful about enemies mounting on that. Be careful about enemies mounting over there, and then be careful about enemies head glitching right there. So now we can go ahead and head this direction. Again, not much to cover here. This is pretty much just a route to get through, but there is a spawn point right here where enemies will be, so they could come up here, and then they could be a head glitch right here for them. So be very, very aware if you're spawning over here and coming from this way, because there can be enemies here. Enemies also like to head glitch up here as well. You can even mount on here if you want to. There is the very first hard point or headquarters on there. The B flag is over by that little blue thing, right where I was shooting right there. And again, there's some more just obscure spots on this map that you really wouldn't want to spend much time into. I mean, maybe you could come over here and call in a kill streak if you wanted to, or you can come over here and kind of just hang out back here and call in a kill streak if you want to, or you can defend a headquarters from back here as well, because there is a headquarters, I think, right in there, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure there's a headquarters right in there. And then you can also climb up on this little crate here by somehow, I just need to figure out how to do it very quickly. I'm pretty sure you just climb up on, no, you can't climb up there. I know that you can get on this crate, I'm just not exactly sure how to do it at the moment. Oh yeah, and then you just go do that. So you climb up on that little thing, and then you can climb up on here. So of course you can mount your weapon on here to defend this objective. You can also mount your weapon over here, and then if you crouch, or if you just come over here, you can take out enemies that are coming up this ramp. So now that we have all of this out of the way, and we have all the lanes covered, we can go ahead and talk about the most important part of the map and the most crazy part of the map, which is of course the middle. So as you can see here, the middle is a giant lane. This is all the middle right here. All of this is the middle right here. So a ton of the map for sure, and this is where probably 99.999% of the action is on this map. Definitely, this is where all the action is. So if I run through here, boom, all of a sudden I'm in the middle of the map, and a lot of enemies tend to run through here. You can, of course, get a line of sight to enemies on the B flag here, enemies down below in the headquarters there, and enemies down there as well. And if you go all the way to the edge, you can take out enemies that are over there, and right here as well, which is a very, very sneaky little spot. So, again, this is where the most action will be. Again, be very, very aware that enemies can be aiming down sights right here, waiting for you to walk by. Enemies can also be standing right where I am, waiting for you to walk by. There can be enemies on that little head glitch there. As I said, there could be enemies on that head glitch there. So be very, very aware. Now, here is another long line of sight where a lot of enemies tend to be. If I want to play this part, I definitely either want to go on this little thing right here, or I want to go ahead and mount on this wall right here. Because by not mounting on here, you're going to put yourself at a very serious disadvantage. This is a very, very good assault rifle area as well. But on the bright side of this map, there is a lot of routes for SMGs, for sniper rifles, for shotguns. Every weapon is viable on this map. But for me, for my experiences playing this map, what I've done the best with on this game personally is I've done very, very well using SMGs more than assault rifles, just because of the fact that I'm always rushing, trying to get close to the enemy. Of course, you can come through here as well, take out enemies here, and then you can also come back over here, over this way, take out enemies that are coming through here, and there you go. But again, this map, as I said, I don't really like it, and the main reason for that is that there's a lot of ways to get shot in the back. Like, for example, coming through this building, you can see an enemy coming up the stairs here, and then you can miscue, run through here, and then all of a sudden that enemy's there, and then he's running back over here, and then he's shooting you in the back. Personally, I don't like that in maps. I really don't. I don't like the ability to get shot in the back very, very easily. If there was one door here, I would like that much, much better, because number one, there's a lot less routes to get shot from, and you're definitely gonna be able to not get destroyed as easily. But yeah, I don't really like this map that much. But anyways, I will give the final rating here in a little bit. But as you can see, if you come from a different route, you can come up here, boom, get that same head glitch on here from those people on that little, I think that's a little trash can, as well as people over there. But the B flag for domination is right there, so be aware of that if you're playing the domination game mode. And people, you can also run through down here also if you want to. Take out enemies that are coming down this little ramp. Again, be careful of that head glitch right there. Enemies love to head glitch on there at points. And then you can also come down these ladders, or come up this ladder, which is actually, I like this part of the map a lot, actually. I like that there's a ladder here. Makes it a very easy and quick transition to get into this part of the map. But again, be careful about enemies camping down there, down here. And as well as be careful coming up here, because you don't want to come up here and then have an enemy be standing right there and then have them just destroy you, which would just be very, very annoying. Of course, that would be very, very annoying. So be very, very aware when you're coming up this ladder that there could be enemies down here, and there could be enemies coming through here as well. But there can also be enemies coming from behind. But again, there is a headquarters right down here. So again, you can also come into this building very quickly and very efficiently by climbing up here and then getting in through this window. But again, be careful about enemies camping or hanging out in here as well. So as I mentioned a lot of my problems with this map, but we'll just go ahead and talk about some of my problems with this map very, very quickly to end the video. My biggest problem with this map, in all honesty, is that the flow is not the best. I've been shot in the back a lot playing this map, shot from the side, shot from different angles, not knowing where enemies are. And that could be because I haven't played a ridiculous amount of this map, but the map just doesn't flow very well in my opinion. Out of the two DLC maps that we've had with this season, I'd say this one is probably the best one. I will cover the brand new Soledal Harbor map tomorrow, but I don't really like this map in my opinion. Cheshire Park just makes this map look very, very bad, and this map isn't for me personally. I mean, I know I need to get used to it a little bit more, but I do know the map enough to get a map guide video for you guys, but it's just really not my map. It's just not a map that I really enjoy that much. It's just too random. I don't like maps where I'm getting shot in the back all the time and stuff like that. It's just a little bit annoying. And if you guys saw my very first Soledal Harbor or very first Petrov oil rig gameplay, I mentioned that in the gameplay that I hate getting shot in the back, because it happened to me a ton of times in that match. So again, don't really like this map. I'd say out of all the maps in the game, though, I'd say this is probably kind of the middle of the ground. It's not the worst map in the game. It's not the best map in the game by any means, but it's definitely not worse than Piccadilly. It's definitely not worse than Euphrates Bridge. It's definitely not the worst map ever, but it's definitely not the best map in my personal opinion. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for another map guide video here on the channel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it was able to help you out a little bit. These map guides always do very, very well on the channel, and I can't thank you guys enough for that, because I do work hard on them. It takes me a lot. I do my best to make them as perfect as possible, and if I miss anything at all, if any of you guys have played more of this map, just put what I might have missed down below in the comments, and I'll probably pin that comment so that everybody who comes across this video can see what I missed. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, join up, check out all my other previous map guide videos, which will be linked down below in the playlist within the description, as well as my previous Modern Warfare video, which will be at the end of the video. And I will see you guys all on another Modern Warfare video very, very soon.